So the curriculum is basically what you are going to teach the boys and girls in your classroom, and it is written down so that everyone in the school choice option that you're in is on the same page. So every child that goes through the program will get the same curriculum. There are four main types of written curriculum. That is research-based curriculum, teacher-developed curriculum, published curriculum, and locally developed curriculum. So I'm going to go through each one and describe them to you. Research-based curriculum is developed from research, and we talk about the importance of this because it's long-term. We look at students in these programs and we see how they're doing later on in life. We see what is working and we see what's not working. So school districts in particular, but also child care centers, are looking at programs that are developed from research. Most public school programs and child care programs such as Head Start, things that are federally funded, are going to be using a curriculum that is research-based. We see that the experiences and the learning outcomes that are used in a research-based curriculum show that long-term success of academic goals and achievement will occur if it's taught well. There are three main areas that research-based curriculum is developed. That's early literacy, math, and social-emotional development. And you'll see less of the social-emotional curriculum if you're looking at the public schools and more of the literacy and the math research-based curriculum. Our state standards would fall somewhat under this area because if you're going into a public school, anywhere from pre-K on, we have our Common Core standards that are in place, and that is what you have to use within your school district in the state of Pennsylvania and most of the other states. And what we see, the only problem we see with the Common Core standards is if you read in your book, we have validated curriculum as part of research-based curriculum, and for some few reasons, but one of the reasons why Common Core curriculum is not validated yet is it is too new. We don't have students coming out that we can look at long-term research. So at some point that will come out and will be validated. Unfortunately, there are a lot of problems with the Common Core curriculum, and I think we're going to see long-term that this curriculum is not a solid curriculum, but that has not been established yet. The other thing we find with research-based curriculum that Common Core standards do not fall under is they're usually written by education professionals, a combination of teams, curriculum specialists, and teachers, and looking at best practices when we decide what we will teach boys and girls at different age levels. This was really not the team that formed Common Core. If you're unaware, Common Core was basically written by publishers and politicians, led by Bill Gates. So this is another reason why we're seeing the students struggling in school with the Common Core curriculum, but it right now is what you have to teach. So Common Core is definitely falling under this category, but maybe not rightfully so. Now, the next kind of curriculum is teacher-developed plans. Teacher-developed curriculum are the goals and the experiences and the materials that teachers will write down based around the individual child they are teaching. And they won't look so much individually at each child, but the children that are in their classroom at that time. And based on those children, they'll set goals. Teacher-developed plans for lessons will occur everywhere, but for curriculum, we're talking curriculum plans, those are going to be established a little more long-term. You're planning at least a week or a month out, and these things are happening in child care centers and pre-Ks. You won't see this kind of curriculum used in public school because it wouldn't match our state standards that we have to go along with. The third kind of curriculum that is written is a published curriculum, and this is curriculum that is purchased. Sometimes it's purchased by school districts, many times it's purchased by pre-Ks or child care programs, and these are based on the learning standards, and you buy into a program of textbooks, teacher guides, learning materials, and resources based around a certain set of goals for children. Again, public schools will align their published curriculum with the state standards, and so it's kind of a combination of the two. We have our state standards that are really telling us what we have to teach, but because they were established by a textbook company, they're aligned with a published curriculum. So they're basically one and the same. Last, we have locally developed plans. And this is going to be where we have curriculum specialists or teacher teams writing written plans for their child care center or their school. Now, schools will take the state standards and write their own curriculum plans in the public schools, but basically those are still based off those state standards. Where we see more of the locally developed plans are child care centers or private schools, schools that are not following the state standards so much, and we have a lot of school choice options that have that freedom to create their locally developed plans. These are the 4 types of curriculum. Depending on where you want to see yourself teaching, you will basically be given one of these 4 options.